Meg Jones, welcome to Leicester Tigers.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here. I think it's nice to finally come back. So yeah, looking forward to getting stuck in for sure.
How's it been so far?
Yeah, it's been good. I think it's finally good to get a whole week in. Obviously, been away with the Red Roses, been stuck in and focused on that. So it's been hard to kind of be in with the Tigers, but I've seen the group chat kicking off. There's been some good socials going on and also some good games as well, good competitive games that the girls have been playing. So I'm buzzing to be back, excited to feel the group and the energy that they're creating. And also, yeah, just getting a bit of routine over here and seeing how we get on in the league. You know, we're a new fit team and I think that's exciting. People probably have got a pre idea of what we're going to be like. But actually, I think it's probably going to be a bit of a shock to them.
Excellent. We're very excited to have you here as well. You're obviously a well-known presence across the rugby world. You're an exceptional athlete. I've read a lot of stuff and interviews that you've done, but what summed you up for me the most was that straight after watching The Last Dance, you went straight out and bought a basketball and then were out on the court practicing. What made you resonate with that documentary, do you think?
I think I just loved, that's so funny because Celia just laughs at me every time. And we were literally at the basketball court and she was like, what are we doing here? And I was like, I don't know. I just feel really inspired. I think that's what it was. I was inspired. I loved the dedication that Michael Jordan had, that he was just like, you only miss the 100% of the shots that you don't take. And I think I love that ethos around outworking people. I think it doesn't matter how talented you are, your attitude and how you set yourself up, I think will overcome most things. And also perspectives is a big thing. If you genuinely believe, you can have not a lot of resources around you, but if you believe that what you're going to achieve is going to be great, I think that's when you achieve greatness. So I think that's what inspired me. And something I kind of take into how I play anyway. I always think, you can be talented, you can have the natural flair, but I think working hard will override most things.
That level of competitive drive is so rare, even at the top level of sport. What you've done across 7s and 15s, there are only a handful of players ever, and to do that internationally is amazing. What drives you to take on these challenges?
So interesting. I went home to see my dad and he always puts things into perspective. I think you forget, like you're in this little bubble and you forget probably what you've done. So it was nice to hear from him and he was like, yeah, he's my biggest fan. So it was nice to hear, because sometimes you're a bit hard on yourself because you always want more. Like most humans, we always want more. Greed is a wonderful thing. So what keeps me in this and what wants me to do it, I generally just love it. I have a sense of belonging. I could be Meg Jones to the full extremes. People always ask me, do I get nervous? I say 100% I get nervous. But the way I deal with it is I think of it as like a performance, and I'm kind of going out there to perform on a stage. But once you're on that stage, everything kind of diminishes, everything just goes. And I think that's what I love about the game, is that it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what you look like. This game just wants you to play well, and it wants you to win. You've got 4 white lines. Let's just win the game. And if you don't do that, then you just put everything you can onto the pitch, and you come off feeling good about it. And I think that's what I love about the game is it generally doesn't matter about your background. I grew up in Cardiff, so a lot of my obviously stories resonate with being in Wales, but where I played in Glamorgan Wanderers was quite a low socio-economical area. But the one thing they had and drove them was the value of being a community, looking out for each other, that family ethos, and that's the bit I love about the game. No one can ever take that away. So there's always a big debate around, do you want to win or do you want to enjoy the journey? And I'm predominantly enjoying the journey. Obviously I want to win, I'm very competitive, but I want to enjoy the journey and I love the people I'm on the journey with, and I want to do it with a smile on my face, and that's what keeps me in the game and keeps me being competitive, because I want to enjoy what I'm doing, and when you're enjoying what you do, you do it well.
Absolutely, that is brilliant. And what you were talking about in terms of all those people with you and the energy that you get, I'll touch on 7s first before we go on to 15s. Celia mentioned about how when you're in Tokyo at the Olympics, it was a little bit surreal because of the lack of crowds. Obviously, with your eyes on 2024 in Paris that you've recently qualified for, apart from just the crack at the gold medal, how excited are you to feed off the energy of a packed stadium?
Yeah, I think that's one of the I guess external factors that we can focus on. But I love creating my own energy. That's what I think we loved so much about Tokyo as a group, is that we could feed off our own energy, create our own atmosphere. And you'll naturally do that anyway, but yeah, it's going to be massive in Paris. The French love their rugby anyway, but to have an Olympic Games, and then prospects of some of their 15s players as well coming over, I think it's just huge. And yeah, I think it'll be an exciting time for rugby.
With the Sevens programme, obviously you are co-captain of Team GB. Has leadership something that's always come naturally to you? And what kind of captain are you on the field?
Yeah, my dad, I always refer back to him, but he always says I'm bossy, but I just think I'm very decisive, and I want decisions made quick. So I guess that is a quite a key factor of being a leader, maybe a key attribute of being a leader. So yeah, I'm always problem focused, solution focused. I don't like problems. I want to fix the problem as quick as I can. So yeah, which again comes with its pros and cons. Some people want to rationalise things and be logical thinking about it. I want to make a decision and get on with it. So as you can imagine on the pitch, when you've got a split second to make a decision, that obviously plays into my hands a little bit. So yeah, I like to lead by example. That's one of my main things. But I also like to show people that you don't have to be serious all the time as well. I like to have a laugh. I like to enjoy myself. Like most people, like if you enjoy anything, I think you just get the best out of people. So yeah, that's kind of where my leadership switched recently, is kind of how can I bring the best out of other people and aspire and inspire other people and other players, particularly on my team, because I know it's easy for me to do what I do. But if I can create 15, 23 people that are aligned to do the same thing and have the same goal at the end, but also with the same values or similar values, then I think that's when you can get, I guess, real success out of a team. So yeah, that's kind of been one of my main focuses with my leadership recently. So yeah, I like to lead by example. I like to think that I allow people to feel themselves. I always ask Celia, because it's really important that everyone has blind spots. So I always ask for honest feedback from her. And she always says that I'll always have a natural, I guess, aura, or I guess people always think that I'm quite intimidating. But I think when you get to know me and you get to see me a bit more light-hearted, that you can actually be this good rugby player, but also you can have fun and enjoy your time as well. So yeah, I think once you've broken down that barrier and we've had conversations, I hope people feel like that they can be themselves, and that's really important to me.
When you talk about that energy and bringing that fun to the field, obviously to switch on to 15s, you've just come back from the Red Roses camp, and we're talking about the best team in the world. We're talking about the #1 ranked team, just won WXV1, so congratulations for that.
Thank you.
How is it balancing that fun side and wanting to bring that energy to what is such a high intensity working environment?
Yeah, I think you've got to obviously have a balance. That's natural. You've got to understand when to switch it on, when to switch it off, and then when it's taking it too far. So it's definitely a lot of trial and error over the years to find out when you're pulling someone's strings too much. But we've definitely had a culture change in the Red Roses where, yes, we're this high performing team, and we're performing very well. So it's kind of going. You don't want to mess that side of things up by being too laid back. Because you can still have high standards and still enjoy yourself, and it's about being honest with yourself. It's not being slacking behind closed doors. It's doing all that work 24/7, because this job is 24/7. All that work behind closed doors, but also I guess having high integrity. Looking yourself in the mirror and going, have I done everything I possibly can? Yeah. Okay. Have I done it with a smile on my face, with a bit of a laugh? Taking a mick out of each other, or yeah, just being a bit more lighthearted about things, because I think that also builds resilience in a person, but also builds you to be adaptable, and you have to be in this game because things change all the time. A good example is that we didn't have a bus turn up for one of our training sessions out in Red Roses, out in WXV, so we all had to jump in Ubers and get to the session. This is very minimal, and it's not like a big thing, but stuff like that happens, and it's kind of going, right, cool. right, let's go and get the training done. Doesn't matter how it's done, as long as we get there. So yeah, that was, I guess, kind of a little story from WXV where we had to adapt a little bit.
Okay, cool. When you talk about that internal growth, obviously that's something that you will have had to go through at quite a rapid rate because you burst onto the scene at such a young age. You were starting in the World Cup final at just 21. How is it, looking back, of how surreal of an experience that was, and also how much do you think you've grown since that game?
I think we speak a lot about, well, I've spoken a lot about anyway, being stuck in the bubble, and you definitely get caught up in it. And those times I remember just kind of taking it in my stride. I was kind of like just, yeah, feeding off all these amazing people, you know, Emily Scarrett, Katie Daly-McLean, Natasha Mohunt, just all these amazing figures that I could kind of look up to, Nolly Waterman. So I just kind of just took it in my stride. But I look back and you kind of have to say, yeah, you know, the amazing achievements, but you always look for the next thing, and I think that's what keeps you so driven and diligent in what we do. How have I changed? I think patience has been one. Not that I have a lot of it, but it's probably grown by a little bit. And I think also that empathy side of things, so understanding other people, like I said, trying to bring people up with me, not try and just be my own person, but also how can I inspire others as well.
It's testament not only to your obvious skill level, the way you've transitioned between the two codes, the 7s and the 15s, but also the rapport that you have with the coaching staff and with the upper bodies. How is it making those transitions back and forth? How is that process?
Well, we're all human, aren't we? We like communication. I think that's the biggest thing. I think we can, you know, communicating with each other is probably the biggest thing. And I think at some point in my career, I think women were kind of being spoken to a little bit like we were children. And then I guess, obviously, times are evolving, but now it's just about speaking to each other like adults. Because I forget I'm 27. I literally think I'm still 18 sometimes, and that my coach is like this 80-year-old guru, but actually they're probably the same age, if not a couple of years older. So it's kind of going, hold on a minute, we can just have a normal adult conversation, and I guess, yeah, keep it as simple as that, really. There's no overcomplicating it, but mutual respect and understanding of what we're both trying to do. Ultimately, we're both trying to be in a successful team and work together. So that's the big thing I've learned over the years as well, is that your coach is there to do the same job as you. They just want to get the win. So building a good rapport with each other is essential, and I think also it holds in good stead leading into this season.
Excellent. What ambitions do you have for the club this season and in your time overall?
I think for the club, we've just got to score tries. That's our biggest thing. We score tries, we stay in games, and we just be competitive as much as we can. You know, we're a blank space, we're a blank team. Yeah, we've people who have pre-assumptions on us and on what we're going to bring, but we've got to be real about it, and we've also got to be. We've just got to be fighters. I think that's the biggest thing. If we can fight and stay in games, that's going to put us in good stead for the season and also seasons to come as well. So we're not saying we're staying here for one season. We're here for the long run. So we have to think like that as well. So yeah, we fight hard. We show that Tigers mentality, and I think that'll put us in good stead this season.
Awesome. What can Tigers fans expect from you on the field?
Good question. Energy. I'm a lot of energy, and hopefully exciting to watch. I think that's the main thing. Like I say, I want to go out there and perform. I look at it as a performance, and but I want to enjoy it as well. So the more energy I get from the fans, the better. And I think that'll be what I'm kind of going for this season for sure.
Awesome. And then finally, how excited are you to run out in front of the fans at Mattioli Woods, Welford Road?
Yeah, I think that's going to be the first home game. I think that's going to be amazing. So yeah, I'm buzzing. I can't wait. It's going to be a huge honour to be part of this club, and I'm going to do my best to bring that excitement onto the pitch.